Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Living the Florida East Coast, and today we're diving into something that's on everybody's mind here in Vero Beach, and that's Hurricane Milton.
Breaking tonight, the monster that is Hurricane Milton now bearing down on Florida.
Oh! Violent tornado, violent.
Not as big as a hurricane, but often faster.
Now, if you're in town whenever this monster rolled through, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're watching from outside of the area, let me just go ahead and say that Vero Beach was not prepared for what was about to hit us, especially the outer bands that came in way earlier than expected and unleashed some chaos. So let's go ahead and break all down what happened. So here's the thing. Everybody was expecting Hurricane Milton to make landfall around 1 p.m. the next day, according to what the Weather Channel and all the other experts were telling us. And that gave us a little bit of time to do some preparations, right? Well, that's what we thought. But around 4 to 5 p.m. the day before, when we thought that we had all our time to get our final preparations in order, the outer band of the storm hit us like a freight train. And we're talking about pounding rain, howling winds, and the absolute worst part, tornadoes. And hundreds of them spawned from this outer band. It was like Mother Nature was throwing everything that she had at us, and she wasn't going to wait until the storm's official landfall, so it caught pretty much everybody off guard.
I wish I didn't have to take this video, but we are in the middle of a hurricane. It is currently probably about 3:30 a.m. and Vero's just getting kind of wrecked right now.
Now, in my area specifically, between 8th Street and 12th Street, and from 43rd Avenue to 20th Avenue, it was all underwater, like literally flooded up to the doors. And the crazy part is these homes are not in designated flood zones, which means a lot of people didn't have flood insurance because they weren't required to. So can you imagine you're sitting there thinking that your home's safe, and then bam, floodwaters start rising, creeping into your house, and then next thing you know, your living room is a little bit of a pond. And here's the kicker. Since it's not a flood zone, insurance companies aren't going to cover most of that damage. It's a mess. So the ground was already oversaturated from rain before the outer bands even hit. And then those bands came through and we got another 8 to 10 inches of rain on top of that. So we weren't ready. And the Weather Channel had predicted 3 to 5 inches of rain for our area and said that there would be no storm surge. So a lot of people didn't take it seriously enough, and man, did those people pay the price. You've heard me talk about this before and a ton on this channel, but I'm going to say it again. And that's why I always emphasize the importance of new construction homes, especially in Florida. So with new builds, you're getting homes that are literally raised above the street level. They bring in truckloads of fill to elevate the property up, which means that you are less likely to deal with flooding. Plus, these homes are built to the latest standards with features like easy to operate hurricane shutters like what I have, or impact windows. And that means you don't have to sit in the dark waiting out the storm. And you've got a much better chance of avoiding water damage or roof loss when the wind gets wild. And another big thing to note, new construction homes here in Florida come with extra hurricane straps on the trusses. And these straps make it a lot harder for these storms to lift the roof off if you do break a window. Now, here's another thing. You might look at an older resale home with a metal roof and just think that you're safe because of that. But here's the truth. If those extra straps weren't installed back whenever the house was built, the roof could still come right off if the winds are strong enough. And this is why it's so important to check those details when you're buying. It's not just about the material on the roof, it's about what's holding it in place as well. So guys, if you are considering relocating to the Vero Beach or anywhere on the Florida East Coast, and you do want a home that is built to actually handle these kinds of storms to the best of their ability, of course, you can always reach out to me, call, text, or email, and I'll make sure that I have your back for that. And you can see my info right here on the screen and in the description below. And of course, you can also check out my website, fleastcoast.com, for more details on homes that will keep you safer when Florida's weather does its thing. All right, guys, but the flooding wasn't the thing that turned our world upside down. Let's go ahead and talk about those tornadoes for just 1 minute, because that's something that nobody saw coming.
Not as big as a hurricane, but often faster. And in small areas, the winds from a tornado can be even more destructive than a Category 5 storm.
So my cousin lives over in the Vero Beach Highlands, and one of the largest tornadoes I've ever seen tore through that neighborhood. It packed winds of over 155 miles an hour. It was the width of 5 football fields. It went over 13 miles. And you guys, this thing was monstrous. It barreled through the Highlands, Lakewood Park, and Spanish Lakes, leaving total destruction in its wake, flipping over semi-trucks, and sadly, several people lost their lives. Entire houses were lifted off their foundations and literally thrown onto other homes. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that some of these areas were left with nothing but a few cinder blocks of where a house used to be. It's heartbreaking, and I even have footage of where you can see a neatly made bed and an organized closet through the open roof because the entire top of the house had just been ripped off, just gone. Now, my family wasn't spared either. One of my parents' rental properties got hit by a tornado. It broke a window, downed a couple trees, and so we are lucky compared to what other people went through, but it definitely still rattles you, and you always think it won't happen to me until it does.
See that car down there, that car over there, this car over here, none of them are mine. And the story behind these cars they're my neighbors right over in that direction. There are shingles being blown off the roof right now as we speak, and I'll show you B-roll footage of it happening because I was right there. Look at this. All right, that's over there. And hitting my neighbor's cars, and for some reason in this cul-de-sac where I live, or at least in this neighborhood, is blocked off from a lot of the wind, and it's making it to where it's not being affected by shingles. At least we're not getting any shingles being blown off from any of my neighbors hitting the cars, so that was the case over there. We went downtown. There were some near the railroad crossing signs and the lights were down. The entire pickleball courts downtown were completely wrecked.
So guys, after all of this, if you're still thinking about making a move to Florida, here's what I want you to take away from this video. The weather here is no joke, and hurricanes are a when, not an if situation. Water damage from storms is far more common than a tornado outbreak like this, but both are reasons why it's crucial to find a home that's built to handle whatever nature throws at you. So if you're looking for a home outside of a flood zone, raised above the street, and built with the strongest storm protection, like extra hurricane straps to keep those roofs firmly in place, metal roofs and impact windows, give me a shout. I'll help you find a place that not only fits your needs, but is also built to weather the storms that we face here. So guys, whether you're ready to move in the next week, the next month, or the next year, whenever you're ready to make that move, I'm here to help. So call, text, or email me anytime, and we'll find you a home that makes you feel safe and secure, that can handle these things while you still get to enjoy the beautiful scenery that Florida has. You know, honestly, since 2004, we haven't been directly affected since anything there. So guys, I hope to be your source of information here for the Florida East Coast. I hope that this video was eye-opening and helpful. Prayers go out to everyone who was affected in the area. Our beautiful little town of Vero Beach was severely rocked with this storm. So guys, I do just wanted to go ahead and give my condolences to anyone who is watching this that has been directly affected, or if you have any family members that are here. I do believe that we can counter a lot of these things if you still did want to take advantage of the beautiful scenery and beaches and things to do that Vero Beach and the surrounding area of the Florida East Coast has to offer. So you just have to buy smart, know what you're getting into. And I've been here personally and seen back in 2004 and then just a few days ago exactly where the low areas are, how to counteract it, how to prepare for the best storm, and then how to buy right to make sure that your home is protected from these things and from these storms. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully you're having a beautiful day like we are today, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.